Good evening, y'all. This is the man in the black mask, and unfortunately, as I told y'all that I was going to find another story and then try to bring it out and share it with y'all, well, here I am. I'm usually not available this time of day, but this time I got nothing to do, so I made an exception, okay? So now I'm going to share this one with you. Y'all may not have heard of something like this, but, you know, it's true, man. Believe it or not, it's true. Rikers Island guard brawls with his own supervisors amid Department of Corrections crisis. Now, this is due to his time shift that he really didn't want to work. He was supposed to fill in for this other staffer, and he didn't want to do that, so he lost it and punched one of his own staffers in the face. Now, unfortunately, they didn't lock his ass up yet, but we don't know what the hell happened after that. But let's face it, man. Violence inside the jails and the prisons. I mean, everybody is just losing their staff for the inmates, but also the staffers, too. Now, it's like WrestleMania in there. So, like I said, it was a good thing I got out of jail 3 days before the transfer. So, anyway, let me read and share this article with y'all, okay? A Rikers Island corrections officer brawls with supervisors amid Department of Corrections crisis. Okay? A corrections officer allegedly got into a dispute with supervisors after completing a shift at the Anna M. Cross Center. Now, the Anna M. Cross Center houses inmates that are not only disabled due to mental and physical illness and drug addiction, but it also tends to house people that require protective custody too, due to either their notoriety or the crimes that they've committed. So let's begin. A Rikers Island correction officer got into a brawl with a captain and an assistant deputy warden Monday, the latest sign of strife at the Trouble Agency amid Commissioner Cynthia Brand's extended absence about complaints from staff about triple shifts. Now, the guard that initiated the brawl, he was ordered to work a triple shift. That didn't sit well with him, so he went manic. Let me tell you something. If I was forced to work someone else's triple shift, I would have went crazy my goddamn self. I don't know if I would have attacked anybody, but I most definitely would have raised hell. An internal correction department report, as well as accounts from sources, reveals that correction officer Melvin Hurd got into a dispute with the supervisors at the Anna M. Cross Center around 10 a.m. Like I said at the beginning, that's the mental health unit, and those requiring special protective custody. The deputy warden Tanya Johnson ordered staff not to open the door, allowing Hurd to exit after he'd been told to relieve a colleague working triple shift, according to Joe Russo, head of the union representing assistant deputy and deputy wardens. I'm not a fucking inmate. Let me out, Hurd shouted, according to sources. Captain Duke Rutherford intervened, and the confrontation escalated, sources said. One source described Rutherford and Hurd insulting each other as colleagues held them back. Hurd pushed Johnson, rushed Rutherford, and started slinging, sources said. Now he had it, man. He just wanted to go home. He did not want to work a triple shift. Johnson, who was trying to break up the fight, was punched in the face, according to Russo. He emphasized that Johnson is a well-respected at the jail and not to blame for the episode. This is what happens when one becomes fed up, a source told Daily News. A correction department spokeswoman said the incident is under investigation. Now, like I said, man, everybody's losing their heads. This pandemic has turned a lot of guards and inmates' heads alike, inside out. Everyone is seeming to lose their nerve. And I gotta admit, though, we're at a difficult time right now where shit can go tragically wrong in a matter of seconds, okay? But let me tell you something. If I was at Rikers, either as an inmate or as a guard, trust me, I would have went crazy at the first sign of trouble. Because like I said, you don't know what to expect when you're stuck at a place like that, either as a staffer or as an inmate. But like I said, the guards can be just as big a problem as the inmates. And I was meaning to tell you this for a long time, but I'm telling you now. Sometimes the guards initiate the problem for the inmates, and that's why a lot of them lash out physically, not just verbally, but physically. And yet, when these inmates decide to stand up for themselves, stand up to those piece of shit guards that pride themselves in just fucking antagonizing them all the time, it's the inmates who's at fault. They don't say nothing about the guards, but yet they say everything about the inmates. And like I said, every inmate has a right to defend himself or herself in jail or prison, especially if the guard is the one starting trouble. They think they can do whatever they want and get away with it. And yet, when the inmates fight back, it's them that gets punished and not the guard that starts this whole shit. But this time, it's the guard that, got into it with the staff because they pushed him to work a triple shift. And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to go home to his family and didn't want to be bothered with this extra bullshit. And trust me, I would not want to go above schedule. I would rather just stick to my work schedule. Okay? So if there's somebody else that needs to be filled in, don't call me. Call somebody else. I got my own problems. I'd rather stick to them. And like I said, a lot of you can relate to being forced to work other people's shifts when you just want to work your own hours and go home to your friends and your family and what have you. And like I said, I'm with you on that one. Okay, I'm with you. But like I said, something's wrong with that guard, man. We don't know. I don't know per se as to what might have went on before this incident or what he was going through before this incident, but you never know. But like it is said, it's under investigation. If I hear anything more about this, I'll bring it out to you and share it from my own vantage point, okay? But like I told you at the start, man, these jails are getting worse with this pandemic. And not only is some of the staff testing positive for COVID, but the inmates too. And I'm glad the vaccines are rolling out. Now, even though we have to deal with some sneaky variants, at least we're making progress. But like I said, I do want to see criminal justice reform. And I also want something done about that Rikers jail and other abusive jails like it. Okay? Because trust me, I was once an inmate. Not at Rikers, but at this jail. I was in jail for a crime I didn't commit, but thankfully I got out before I got transferred to Rikers. But like I said, man, I do want some changes made to the criminal justice system, and I'm also praying that when the reform is set in motion, that these inmates get the proper respect and humane treatment that they deserve. And they shouldn't be treated like pieces of dog shit just because they're inmates, just because they're state property, just because they're one in the state. No, everyone is entitled to fair respect. And so far that hasn't happened yet. And like I said, this needs to stop. Even if they don't close Rikers, they need to reform it. So anyway, thank you for listening to the Man in the Black Mask. And if I have something else to bring out, I'll share it with you tomorrow. So until then, good luck, be well, and have a good night. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the Man in the Black Mask through this challenging ordeal. He thanks you for your service.